Yeah, so the first thing about BIM is the models are big. Traditionally, again, if you're not using a common cloud-based system that's following the BIM standards, then you'll be exchanging models manually between different parties. You might need to convert models into IFC or Revit format or different formats for different CAD systems so that other people you're working with can see the models. It involves a huge amount of copying and sending. There are security risks and all kinds of other difficulties with the size of these files when you're sending them. So if you can centralize those into a common cloud platform, and preferably a cloud platform that can take multiple formats and allow them all to be viewed together without having to do any complicated conversions, then that's a big benefit. It saves a huge amount of time and effort, and it also encourages people to collaborate much more closely, so you get less errors. If the structural steel people can see the piping and the plumbing almost as it's being developed, then you're going to get less mistakes. There's a lot more information about the actual building or the asset in the actual model data. So what we can do is do a lot of analytics, on the data itself to give you insights into what's good or bad about your designs. You can look at the building heating efficiency, for example, or the floor areas of buildings, those kind of things which wouldn't be traditionally easy to do with the normal CAD design tools, become much more accessible. And if you can, if the structural guys can see all the walls and the windows and things, they also have a lot more insight about how they should be designing their parts of the system. And then as we take that forward into operations, you start to get much more accelerated benefits as you have a fully trusted and correct representation of your asset. And one of the techniques that we use and is built into our solutions and applications is the idea of progressive assurance. So as you're working through design phases, construction phases, handover and into operations, then you are constantly exchanging and validating information with your partners and suppliers and so on, much more regularly than we have done in the past. And we're using all of these tools to gain insight and trap errors and mistakes much earlier in the process than we have in the past. And we also have cost controls tied to the design model as well, so that if the design changes, the costing model can actually automatically change because it's all tied together. So the chance of cost overruns and wastage should be greatly reduced, and it has been proven where the BIM processes have been followed properly, that there is 20 to 30% reduction in cost in design and construction, and then that's turning into 40-50% cost reductions in operations as well. Well, one of the benefits of the cloud model is that you can access the systems from multiple different sources. So if you've got APIs into your BIM systems or into your design review processes, then you can access those from Microsoft applications, from SAP applications, Maximo, Aviva, Intergraph, Hexagon. All of these different solutions can have interfaces into your system, so that you are keeping that single source of the truth, but you're not hiding it away. You're making it available to everybody across all of the silos. And one of the great benefits of the OpenText extended ECM system is that we can maintain that single source of content, but have it connected through to SAP processes and Maximo and all these other different systems out of the box. And you've got to understand the way the processes have got to be used and the way you're going to interact with other parties, the way you're going to set the requirements for the projects, and the way you're going to deliver to other parties in the project based on agreed requirements. All of this is defined quite clearly in the BIM standard,